Hey guys, 10th Gate here. Happy New Year. Here we are back at the TH10 base, close to max, still working on my wizard tower since the update. I've got some war attacks for you guys today. So, current war we're in, my first attack went up against this guy. So, it's a fresh TH10. Let's take it to the drawing board here. So, the big difficulty when you're up against a TH11, as anyone, is the Eagle artillery really bugs up your attack the longer you let it live. So I always try to go for the Eagle artillery first. In this case, we have this annoying setup where, town hall's smack in the middle. Obviously, your troops are meant to wrap around the outside, and you only have a ghost of a chance of hitting it if your queen wanders in. But in a base like this, he's kept his Inferno towers on the inside, making it risky at best. They aren't set to single, but still. When I'm approaching a base like this, I basically am thinking, if I need to get to the middle, then I need to clear like a whole side of this thing. And of course I'm going to go in towards that Eagle artillery because it's twofold benefit. One, silencing the Eagle artillery early. Two, I can mostly ignore his clan castle for a while. And clan castle troops make a big difference in the attack. So I decided to go in from the top side. Additional benefit was there's a bunch of new he's basically a fresh TH11 here, and he had some pretty bad troops up at the top there. So I decided, you can see the lineup I chose in the end. I decided to strike in two places at once and then leave a delayed attack from the middle, hopefully bouncing to this, then bouncing to that, right? So basically the play was going to be, I brought 6 wall breakers, 2 golems, 1 golem, 2 golems. They start soaking up the attack. Next step, send in the Valkyrie and 2 strike forces. I brought 14 of them, so I was going to say 7 apiece sounds pretty good because you follow that up with a nice rage spell. And those Valkyrie are going to pick up those 2 sides of it really, really well. I actually brought 4 rages because I was thinking my middle attack, those that I send down this way, we're going to have a rage there and then save a rage for the TH. My main concern on this was really getting down the TH to get at least 2 stars on the base. I didn't think I had much chance of 3-starring it. Any percentage I can get off that is gravy, right? So that was the score. I also brought Earthquake because I didn't want to bring too many wall breakers. I was already going to be using 3 here and 3 here. So I brought an Earthquake spell. Added benefit, a max Earthquake will also hit that Eagle artillery, bringing it down, I think, 12 or 15%, which will help along the way. And it'll also leave a nice path for my royals and what's in my clan castle, which is what I've been using lately, a dragon and 3 balloons, a max dragon. I find them pretty good. They're not easily killed by Inferno towers, and given that the guy had Inferno towers here, I thought at least it would give me a chance after the Valkyrie had messed up most of the other stuff. So that's the basic gist of it. The king I was going to pile on through the middle too and just hope the Valkyrie did their job to reach down the middle. So let's go see how that one went down. That was the basic premise, right? There's a couple of surprises in that attack that we'll see here, but it went all right. All right, let's go. So here we go. I start with the Earthquake because I don't want to fumble around with that in mid-attack. There goes my queen. I put her first with the healers on her because I want the healers to stick on her. If I'd put the king, she might, I consider her important. Drop my two golems. Carefully put in my 2. Hold the phone. Alright, so I dropped my 2 golems and my wall breakers and then started putting in my Valkyrie, 7 on each side. I'm about to drop the rages. Now danger, you see my queen is dying here. Things were getting hot and heavy. I just dropped my rages. I tried to save her last second, but she actually goes down. So that's bad news, but we have to keep on with the attack. So my king's down in the middle, and here's my clan castle troops. It's not looking bad because the Valkyrie are doing exactly what I wanted them to. So here comes the king, the dragon, the balloons. They go straight for the middle. My last rage spell in the middle. Here's the clan castle troops going to the sides. Good. The guy had a surprise waiting for me. It was all of his bombs and his Teslas waiting for me in the middle, but we got through it, took it down. Now with the queen, if she'd lived, yeah, we would have gotten a few more percentages, but I got a cool 50% right on the line. Versus a TH10 and a nasty base like this, I consider that something of a success. All right, so there you go. My next was a cleanup job on 6 after the last guy only got 1 star. Here it is. Let's take this one to the drawing board real quick. Taking it from screenshots, it looks like it's this one right here. All right. Another ring base, big surprise. You know, they're doing this all the time. This one has more stuff in the middle, so I went with Valkyrie again. Valkyrie on the ring bases are pretty strong. Bowlers, you just can't be sure they're going to funnel properly. Air attack, I prefer the air attack only when there's far less in the middle to give me a chance. So Valkyrie are pretty good because once you clear the wings, it's going to work out. So with this one, you know, I brought my 4 earthquakes, of course, to open up a side. Now, I decided to go in the broadside simply because, let me see, what was my logic at the time? Oh yeah, that's right, it was this over here. I didn't like this square. I thought of going in this way. That square corner looked like it was going to get in the way of my wall breakers because I do strike with 2 golems on either side in this attack. And this side up here, it was a little bit irregular, and this one was really inviting, so I just decided to go with like the most direct route. And plus, because these sides are so wide, you get a nice even clear here. You know, this is my goal, is to clear out this stuff to open up the path for my Valkyrie, right? So basically the plan was here, Golem, to pick up as many of those troops as I could. I then decided to put my queen on this side, and I'll tell you why. It's because of this. I knew that his clan castle stretched out about to there, and whatever, I knew that there was going to be dragons in it because it was a cleanup and I'd seen the last attack. So I wanted my queen around near at hand to pick up the dragons because I knew this golem was going to be taking those. So with the golem, you'll have your 3 wall breakers striking at corners, and I decided to put my barbarian king, let's get him in orange, over here. Now the important thing in this attack was to make sure that I cleaned up all of these buildings on the side. Whoop. Sorry about that. Clean up all the buildings on the side so that some Valkyrie, because I'm only running with Valkyrie here, and I wanted some Valkyrie available to break in like that, and then as my last resort, send in the Valkyrie, the remaining Valkyrie, the CC troops, my dragon, and my things in the middle. My plan for the rage spells went like this. I was going to put a rage here to make sure that it got cleared here as well, and then 1 here to make sure the Valkyrie were full speed, and then a final 1 for the middle. Now I've never used this setup before, except in this war, but it's not a bad setup at all. It gets the job done. Here I was really going for 2 stars and as high as I could get, hoping the queen would survive to go around the outside and do her job there. So let's see how this went. Once again, it's basically the same attack as the first one. I thought about doing some other styles, but really Valkyrie made the most sense. The 2 golems also made the most sense because of these 2 sides. So there's my queen with her healers. She wasn't a pure queen walk because I didn't see the point. I should specify on that. The queen walk, sometimes you set her alone to clear a whole wing, but on a base like this with pretty high level defenses, it's basically a max 10. I didn't think she could penetrate far enough on her own. I didn't want to risk her. I wanted her living a while. So I decided to use these golems in this case. Anyways, left side's a little sloppy. It's got a king there. It's slowing it down. I start deploying Valkyrie. Unfortunately, they start going down the sides. I didn't so much want. I wanted the king to do the side there and the queen to do the other side, but it's all good. Here comes the clan castle troops. And basically I put down the last few Valkyrie I had here, and my clan castle troops, myself. There was only about 4 Valkyrie left, and it was a bit down to the wire here, but let's see how this goes. First rage, then the middle drop the last rage. 4 Valkyrie, 2 Valkyrie left now, and the dragon is actually enough to finish it up. Here the dragon shows its worth. It gets blown back by chance, and him and the queen finish off the enemy's clan castle dragon, and are still alive long enough to clear out the TH. So I won't lie, it was a close fight, and it wasn't pretty, but there you go. It was a 67% attack. I'm actually pretty happy with that against basically an even match to myself. Forget the numbers, he had the exact same base as I did, and a tough base setup to boot. Alright, so let's go. Next, I'm taking these from a last war we did, right? So my first attack was on the guy right below me. Let's see. It's right there. It was a TH11. Alright, so let's go to the drawing board with this one real quick. TH11. Now, boys and girls, this is an example of why it's important not to rush your bases too much. So yeah, this was a TH11, but wow, so many problems with it. Look at his crossbows. I think those are level 1, maybe level 2. Level 1 Inferno towers, of course level 1 Eagle artillery, crappy wizard towers. It was like basically an early TH9 with a TH11 base in it. So at first I was like, yeah, Valkyrie, not really for this base. There's a lot of walls, and there's still a considerable amount of firepower coming from this base. So I decided air attack wasn't going to be good either, because let's face it, I don't see air attacks 3-starring anybody, and I wanted to 3-star this guy. I thought it was going to be possible. So in the end, I decided, as you can see, to go with bowlers. Bowlers are great in a situation like this. They, when all the buildings are packed close together, there's only looks like he's got big bombs, maybe there. Big bombs are dangerous to bowlers, but I was basically guessing that he had his big bombs in these predictable spots like this, or maybe scattered here. So, anyways, like the last time, I decided I needed to strike from this direction because of the Eagle artillery. Now, the guy's clan castle, of course, is way on the edge. It's just a bad base. It's a bad TH11. So I brought 1 giant to pull the clan castle, and then there's actually a worker hut down here, and I brought an archer to pull them to the side. And then I decided this is sort of how I plan it out before I do the attack. And then once the archer brings the clan castle troops this way, I was going to have my queen and her healers and maybe a wizard to take down whatever's in there, and I brought 2 poison spells to boot to try to take that down. Now, the reason I wanted them over here was because I want the queen, let me clean up this mess a little bit. I want the queen to take out this stuff. Right, she was going to be my left wing attacker, because even if I'm using bowlers, I still need something to take out the sides. On this side, I brought 1 golem to take some heat, and I was going to deploy a portion of my bowlers, in this case 6 of them, because I have bowlers in my clan castle, and I want at least a good 18 bowlers going center to wreak havoc, as well as the balance of my wizards as a cleanup crew. So with that in mind, I brought a golem that I wanted to put maybe here, and I was going to use my secondary tank, which is my Barbarian King, to go more central, because I don't want my bowlers getting picked off by any of these things. I don't even want them getting hurt. This is like, I'm going for 3 stars, of course. So that was the plan. Some bowlers to attack this way, and then once these 2 wings are cleared, send the mass of them through the center, use a jump spell. Use a jump spell for entry. I didn't think it was worth getting earthquakes in this case, because I wanted those poison spells to make sure I took out whatever was in the clan castle quick, so my queen doesn't die, which has been happening lately to clan castle troops murdering the queen, especially balloons. Sometimes I'm seeing that happen quite often. And then I had my rage spells. My rage spells I intended to use 1 to escalate, 1 to boost the bowlers here, another to get down on the entry, and another for the follow through. Right? And finally, I brought a free spell. I had to debate between the free spell and a heal spell, because I thought a heal spell would be good. However, I do have 4 healers, and sometimes they tend to move around, so I said let's just stick with the healers. I'll use the freeze, hopefully there, slow down the Eagle Artillery, because when you're playing with bowlers, you're massing them, and the Eagle Artillery is an area of effect striker, so I decided to go with that. Let's go see how that went. The bowler attack in war. All right. We play 1. All right, let's go. So here we go. There's that builder's hut in the corner I was trying to show. There's my giant pulling the troops out. No problem. Start my archer early on over here. Preemptive poisons, queen, healers. Alright. The poisons go a long way. She takes out that dragon like it's easy. I think it's actually a level 5 dragon. It wasn't a strong clan, I'm gonna be honest here. Looks like the giant pulled a big bomb already, so I'm already seeing this is a danger to the bowlers, by the way. There goes my golem. Oh, it was my mistake, actually. I put the barbarian king on the side because I wanted him going around and wrapping around. So there's my 6 bowlers. Queen's doing a good job on her side. Eagle artillery is already firing. Now, I put my rage down preemptively to make sure that that golem goes in first. And here come my bowlers. They just narrowly avoid a big bomb, and then they enter the rage. And it looks like clear sailing. I freeze up that eagle artillery maybe a little late, but it's okay. Second rage to make sure the follow through strong. Drop my wizards to follow behind, and after all the danger is passed, to pick off whatever's left. The bowlers are holding up pretty well here. Bowlers on the side are making headway with the king. That's good. I used his ability. Queen still got her ability. Too easy. And as you can see, the wrecking crew in the middle, it might have been, it might have been a crappy TH11, but it was a TH11 nonetheless. A lot of weaponry, as many as there are. And still a lot of opportunity for your troops to die. So let's see what the cleanup looks like. Let's put it in 4 times. Queen, I think I used her ability just to say I did. And there you go. Cool 100% on a war attack. Not too shabby. We obviously won this war in a cruel way. So my second attack was against number 9. Let's see what that looks like on the drawing board real quick. So yeah, I'm bringing you 2 wars in one in this video. I figure that's a good way to roll if people want to see a variety of war attacks. Now, this was a stronger base, even though it was a TH down from the first one. It was a harder base. We had a guy attack this, I think, for 0 stars before me. So I wanted to get my 2 stars in on this guy. I was feeling good off the 3 stars. Thought maybe I'd get 3 off of it. So let's see. Picking the route we're going to go in. Now, when I pick where I'm going to put, I had a queen. I was planning on doing the queen walk with Valkyrie because this looked like the kind of base, like almost a ringish base that I really needed a wrecking crew in the middle. Not quite packed enough that I want the bowlers in there, because the last guy had used bowlers and it hadn't worked out, so I was like, I'll try something else. So his crossbows are always a consideration, and you'll see why in this attack. Actually, something goes south. So I was thinking, if I want to come in this way, which I did, because I like to hit a broadside, because it gives me the opportunity. I was going to have my queen clear this wing, and then do my golem from this wing over here. Now, the clan castle's here, and its rim is something like that. I saw the opportunity for my to sneak in a hog rider, pull the clan castle troops, pull them to over here. Same trick I did in the last one, and that was my plan. Exact same play, actually. Leave my queen down with some poisons, and because it worked well, so I said let's try it again. Leave my queen down with some poisons, the healers, and then start deploying my golem with his 3 of the wall breakers, and some wizards. Now, you see, I didn't bring a jump spell because the walls are so weak on this base, and I figured my wall breakers, it takes about 2 per wall to break through here. So I figured I would like have one of my first rages, perhaps here, a second rage, sort of around there, and a third rage to take out the rest of that middle stuff, just so my Valkyrie would go crazy. And that's when I figured if I brought 2 wall breakers for here, maybe I'd throw down 2 for here, 2 for here, and if there was if there were rages, the first one would get through to there. I could just sort of drop them all. However, with walls that are this weak, I wasn't really too worried because the Valkyrie will chew. Valkyrie on rage will chew through walls like this, like it's the new fad, right? So that's basically the play, you know. Clear both wings after the CC pull, and then once it's clear here, my Valkyrie, I plan for them to snake in and basically, you know, go through this juicy center. And then the queen would walk down the side. The king would probably chew through the middle with her, and they'd meet up somewhere around here to clear off the rest. All right, that doesn't look too strategic there, but once again, in this case, I believe, I can't even remember what I brought in my clan castle, but I believe it was a. Oh, that's right. I brought a Valkyrie. Asked for Valkyrie or a P.E.K.K.A. because this looked like the kind of situation where a P.E.K.K.A. would actually be pretty good. You know, just in there raged and swinging with the Valkyrie. Not a lot to stand between him and buildings, just weak walls. So I actually threw a P.E.K.K.A. in there to see how he was doing these days. Let's go see the replay. Alright. On the map. Myself. Second attack. Alright. So here we go. Here comes the hog. There he pulls the dragon out. Those dragons in the clan castle, they're dangerous. That's another reason I like to bring, if you can't access the clan castle early on, I like to bring a dragon of my own to counter it with the queen. So there you go. My deployment was a little sloppy here. I should have put the poisons first to slow them down and make sure they didn't murder my queen, but she got away with it. Went well. And there she begins her walk. Immediately I put down my golem because I know there's not much time. I don't want her to go too deep into the base by herself. My wizards go down. We're going to start clearing that wing. My wall breakers I timed already to open up that wall so hopefully the golem would go inside. Actually, he's diverted towards the... there we go. He goes in. That's good. And there goes my barbarian king to start clearing. The wall breakers on the outside didn't work, so I just drop my Valkyries and go to town. I say there's no time to waste. Look at this. My queen's already picked up the crossbow on the side and had to use her ability. She almost died. So here go the Valk. They're wrecking everything. I throw down my rages, trying to cover as much territory as I can with them. The Valkyrie move fast, so you kind of have to put down your rages fast. I use a freeze on that Inferno just to ensure that everything stays alive as long as possible. My queen's still working. Or did she die? Yeah, my queen died in this one, I think, and that probably took a lot out of my my follow-through. It's when the crossbow gets on the queen, and that's something I need to be careful with. You really want to get something between your queen and the crossbow early in these attacks. This is the end of the attack, so I'll just speed it up here. King's ability, he's down. Now it's just healers and Valkyrie. It would have been 100% if that queen had lived. That's for sure. Now these Valkyrie, I'm thinking there's a chance they might make it, but the spring traps diminish my force by a third. Now they diminish it by another half, and not strong enough. So almost wrecked the base. It was a pretty close to maxed TH10, but there you go, 91%. Not bad, almost a second 3. But you know, when you lose your queen, you lose a lot of your follow-through and your potential for a 3-star for sure. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and hope some of this was helpful. I'm going to keep making these videos, try to show some strategy, and develop my own play as well. And you know, I'm really trying to mix it up each week and do different attacks so that people have different options in war, and you know, trying to learn how to think about these attacks as well as watching other people play. It's all good. So I'll check you guys later. Peace.